Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading for your door to happiness. I'm doing 4 readings this time, and you can go ahead and choose which one you would like to do now. The first reading is the key. The second reading is lightning. The third is well, and then the fourth is archway. So you can go ahead and pick now, and then I will put timestamps down below and you can find your desired reading. All right, I hope you enjoy. Thanks, bye. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. This is the reading for the card, the tea leaf card Key. And what this key card says is successful outcome to your problems. And so to me, you know, we're dealing with happiness here. So there could be something that's been troubling you that you're getting the answer to, because when I think of a key, it's like a, you know, it unlocks doors that were previously locked. So there's something that's going to become clear. That's what I'm seeing with this key card. I'm also seeing this symbol right here. And I believe if you turn it this way, that's the Gemini symbol, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know, maybe you could be a Gemini or you could be dealing with a Gemini. So this is for the key card. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with an Angels of Atlantis. And this is just like the area of your life that this is pertaining to. Like whatever feels like it's locked behind a closed door right now, that if you find the key, you know, it's like the key to happiness is what I'm seeing with those 2 cards sitting next to each other there like that. So we have Gabriel and Grace. Okay. Is that a goose or a swan? I think it's a goose. Grace. I mean, I think of swans when I think of Grace, so it could be a swan and I'm just being mistaken. But so the key to the locked door is Grace. So I feel like that's about intentions, about how you... So if you've been maybe like in a bad mood or something lately and you've maybe taken it out on others a little bit, is what I'm hearing. But in order to unlock the door to happiness... Oh look, there's even more birds here. You have to have grace, kindness. And I'm not saying you're not a kind person, but maybe you're just like in a place right now where you're just a little bit more in a shadow in that area of life. Like how we treat others. Maybe you've been feeling really wronged by others. And not saying that you haven't been, but maybe you felt like the world has kind of been against you and you've let that come out in the way that you treat others. Okay, and then we have himself. I don't know why they're wanting me to point this out, but 17, breaks down to 8. And the day that I'm recording this, the 21st of November, is an 8 day. So I don't know why they wanted me to point that out to you. Oh, they just said something about the next 8 day, which I don't know when that would be. You'd have to do the math, but whatever day will next be, like the numbers and the date break down to an 8. Like 11 you keep for November, and you keep 11, and then the 21 breaks down to a 3, and then the 2020 breaks down to a 4. Okay, and then you add 11 plus 3 plus 4, and then you get your number. Okay, and if it's an 11, a 22, or a 33, you leave them be until you get to the last one. And then the last one is one of those numbers and you leave it. But anyway, himself. I almost forgot to look into it since I got distracted by the numbers, which is interesting. You could be saying a lot of numbers. 4-4 when I just saw 4-4 when I said that. Anyway, let's see, himself. Okay, so firstly with this card, what I'm seeing is okay. So I'm going to be saying he a lot just because this is a himself card, but you do not have to be a masculine or you don't have to be a man in order to relate to this, okay? But what I'm seeing first is like he has a star at his crown chakra, his third eye chakra, and his heart chakra. And so those can be really important to focus on right now. I feel like if you are feeling a little bit upset with life right now, focusing on those 3 chakras could help you. Like you can listen to chakra sound healing things as you go to sleep at night and stuff like that. But so he is like the divine, like he's the masculine energy here, right? And specifically himself, he represents all of the collective, because every single living thing has a masculine energy within it. And the whole collective, depending on what you believe, it's like either everything here on earth or everything here on earth and in other realms. It's like the entire collective has a masculine and a feminine energy within itself. Okay. And so what this is telling me too is that it's how you can learn to ground it, because himself, that's a very like earthly energy. He's the masculine here on earth, but he also sees, it's almost like he has the ability to see all layers of everything around him, every person, every place, every interaction, every feeling. He has that, it's like from the earth to the stars, sees everything. And sometimes when that happens, when we have that ability, it can we can be more sensitive to the things that people do to us. But what this is asking you is to harness that in a way where you understand where each person, even when they're wronging you, where they are coming from. Now, don't let people walk all over you. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm saying is like, just look at them and understand, like you have the ability to understand where any person that wrongs you, where they're coming from. Just as when you are in that position, when you're feeling a little bit more negative and you tend to take it out on people, we wish that those people had the ability to understand where we're coming from. So also maybe that's telling me that we need to communicate more about why we are acting the ways that we're acting, and because not everybody has that capability of understanding that grace, right? Okay, so we have the Queen of Keys. Now I'm going on to the Akashic Tarot. Queen of Keys, initiation in the Count Saint Germain. And 5 of Keys, wishes fulfilled. Okay, so first off, what I'm seeing is, I forgot to mention with himself, like, this card has a lot to do with family as well. So this could be within your own family, but it doesn't have to be, because what I'm seeing here is with this queen is almost like their counterparts, even though she's not like the Empress. It is making me think like she's the highest female form of this key energy, and we're doing a reading for the key. Okay, so I feel like it's kind of like a masculine feminine balance here that's going on. And the initiation in the Count Saint Germain, it's kind of, it's ascension, right? You're being called in to ascend to this higher level of being. And I feel like there's something holding you back, and it could be either in a family sense, because I am picking up family here, but I'm also picking up work for some reason. I couldn't really tell you why, but I am picking that up. But you're being called, it's like you're being called to leave behind some lower vibrational things that maybe are causing you to be in a lower vibrational state, that's making you kind of act out in a negative way. And that's why you're being called to grace. Like, the grace is the key to the happiness, right? The door to the happiness. And so right now you might be a little bit in lack in that sense, and it might be because you are having maybe some resentments about your job or your family, is what I'm sensing. I do have clarifiers here that I'm going to pull for them, so we might get a little bit more clarification there. And then once you decide to kind of leave those things behind, you get to, it says wishes fulfilled. And look at all the abundance here. You don't go to lack. And here as well, even though she's in front of this card, I am sensing like this is a scene that is going on out in her fields, and she's looking upon it, and she's looking at all these people that are being initiated. And they're being initiated to come up into the castle and share in the riches. And the castle is like, I'm getting the sense of like castle in the sky. They just said maybe you like that movie. I don't know. But it's like the castle in the sky where you get to go and ascend to a higher level. Okay. It's like you get the key to the door to get into this room. That's what you're getting here. You're getting the key in this initiation to ascend. And when we leave behind lower vibrational things, it's like, sometimes we can't actually physically leave those things. And sometimes we can. When we can, we should. And it's not like you don't want what's best for those things that are, it's just they don't resonate with you anymore. It's not that they're worse or better than you. It's just that there's no resonation anymore. Resonation, is that a word? I don't know. You just don't resonate anymore with that energy, and you're getting the keys to the castle. Okay, so 9 of Cups. That's, I feel like that should be there, because 9 of Cups literally, not literally, but it can translate to wish fulfillment. And that's literally what it says, wishes fulfilled. So like this, I don't know, could be a continuation or something. The 5 of Wands. Okay. And let's go ahead and do this. And the Queen of Coins. Oh my gosh, I do. I feel like these should be switched here. But no, actually, no. They want me to leave it like this because, okay. So it's almost like a continuation here, okay? And this woman she's happy to have you in. She's very happy to invite you into her castle. She wants to share her riches. And that's the thing, is like when we have abundance, we need to be able to share it with people. And she sees that right now you are in a lower vibration than her, but she still loves you unconditionally, even though you're in a lower vibration, because she knows that you're about, it's not because she knows that you're about to be initiated, but she sees your worthiness no matter where you are at in life. All that she's waiting on is for you to see your worthiness, for you to see your worth enough to know that you can be initiated into this wishes fulfilled, into wish fulfillment, into enjoying and sharing the abundance. Because you're not going into this room alone. You're not stealing from the Queen. You're going in with these 4 people. It's the Queen's house. It's a community. So you're being drawn to this community, and you will have resistance with this 5 of Wands underneath underneath this initiation, and I feel like this is not just external. Like there could be people or things in your life that want to cling on to you. They don't want you to ascend. There will always be those things, right? But also I'm saying that it could be you resisting your own ascension, because it's like I see 3 on this side. There's 5. Where's the 5th person? Oh, there's 2 on this side. Okay. But I was only seeing 1 person on this side and 3 on this side. So it was like the 4 people, or I thought there were 4 people on that side and 1 on this side. So it was like the 4 people, and then you need to go initiate as well. And you're resisting going on to the other side. So you could be resisting your own initiation because the things that you have to kind of let go of are very, very difficult to let go of. But this is your key to happiness. Okay? Like I'm really getting strongly that it's either work or love, because we do have cups and coins here. I'm not sure what keys translate to because this isn't like the traditional tarot, but I think that it's like an air energy, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. And then the Queen of Coins, it's almost like once you give in, like not give in, but once you decide that you are worthy of standing in front of Count Saint Germain to be initiated, that you get to go, you get to also become a queen energy. But it's like the balance, because right now you might be a little bit more in a toxic masculine energy, like acting from your ego. And like I said, you do not have to be a man, but you could be acting a little bit more from your ego because you're trying to protect yourself, because you know that this is where you're supposed to be, but you're keeping yourself at a lower vibration. And so it causes you to act out of ego. And so you're really being asked to ground into earth, like what you know to be true. That crown, the third eye, and the heart chakra, it's like that's what you know to be true, and you need to say what you want and then ground it. Okay, so maybe do some grounding meditations as well. So let's see. But yeah, it's like you get to transition into this Queen of Pentacles. It's like living in your truth, in complete abundance, because the Pentacles is about earthly abundance. And that's what wishes fulfilled. It's right underneath wishes fulfilled. And so it's like a financial gain I'm getting because of the amount of food on this table too. It's from the gardens, but she has the means to plant the produce, to take care of the fields, to harvest the produce, to bring it in and have a place to keep the produce and to store it and to preserve it. Okay, that's the earthly energy. Okay, next is the White Sage Tarot. Oh, weird. I have 4 here. I normally, like, what I did was I shuffled them, and when I cut the deck, I just took the top 3, but there's actually 4 cards here, which is so strange. Okay. So we have the Queen of Pentacles again, the Knight of Cups, the World, and the Star. Okay, this is a small, for a small portion of you. With the Queen of Pentacles, you know, it's the elephant, and then she has a baby elephant with her. And then with the Knight of Cups next to it, that looks like a very childlike energy, especially with the cups. I feel like can be a little bit more of a youthful energy, a little bit more in there. They know how to live by their hearts a little bit more. Okay, and so what I'm seeing is that if this is a home situation, like if you're in a toxic home situation, I'm seeing like you're taking your child or children and kind of leaving because the World card is here. And it's almost like he is looking directly at the acorn. And then with the star, it's like if you're taking yourself out of a toxic, it doesn't have to be children. I'll go into just a more general reading, but so it's like you could know that this is who you are. You are this Queen of Cups or this Queen of Pentacles, and you know it, but right now you're resisting that energy. You're resisting your Queen of Cups. And why do I keep saying Queen of Cups? That's so odd. Maybe you feel like you're kind of turning off your emotions like you have to turn off your emotions to stay in this energy. You just have to, it's almost like you just have to completely shut down to stay in this job or in this environment, this relationship, whatever it is. And so this is showing me like, because if you don't have a child, this could be that Cups energy that I keep picking up on. Like, you know that you're the Queen of Pentacles, right? But then you also have that Cup energy, that emotional energy that maybe you're trying to turn back on, but you're not quite at a queen or a king. You're at a knight, which is still, I mean, it's better than not better than a page. It's just the next step up from a page. So it's like you're working really steadily with the Pentacle energy. You're working really steadily, I think, to reignite your passions, your passionate side, and stop shutting yourself off. And then the world represents the change. And what's interesting is this actually looks like a full moon to me. And then we have the star here. And so it's like the moon and the stars. Ascension, you're ascending to the next level. That's what you're doing. You're working really steadily on it. And if you haven't begun working on it, you're about to, or you wouldn't be here if you weren't, right? So this is the Work Your Light Oracle, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Okay, birthing a new world into being. I feel like that is that ascension. It's you are leaving and you have the world here. That's the new world. You're looking at it. You know what you want. You know what you're aspiring to, and you will be successful. You will birth it, because the star is about healing too, and not just like a wish upon a star. It's healing, and I feel like you're healing your world, and it's birthing it to, it's like that's the birth process, right? We give birth, and it's a huge traumatic experience to our body. Like, I'm talking in a literal sense. It's a huge traumatic experience to your body, but your body knows how to miraculously heal itself. So it's like there's something traumatic, something really negative that was keeping you in this negative space, and you're healing it. You're moving on from it. You're birthing a new age. Okay, and then we have, oh, I love this, because this is the same thing as this wishes fulfilled. Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. It's by embracing this part of yourself that you will just achieve abundance. Okay? Pile 1, this has been your reading. I thank you for being here. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, and welcome to pile number 2. If you picked the word or the card lightning. Okay, so lightning, this is for our happiness readings. The word lightning. This says control your anger or you will be sorry. Now, I'm not necessarily getting that from the lightning. Storms can be very threatening, and that I see where that anger is coming in, where storms are angry, right? Like they wreak havoc on things. But I'm more getting that lightning in the sense of that light bulb moment where we just get absolute clarity. Like, how when it's storming at night and it's really, really dark because there's so many clouds in the sky and it's just there's no light. And then all of a sudden this bolt of lightning strikes and everything is illuminated for a split second. So I feel like something like that is happening for you. Like there's some light bulb moment that you're receiving in order to get this happiness, this clarity, because the sun is shining in this card and the birds are out flying. And so it's like almost like an opposite effect of a storm, but I am getting the sense that it's that light bulb moment that will clear the storms from your energy. I mean, the control your anger or you will be sorry might come into play. We'll see. But for now, I'm just going to go with what my intuition was telling me. Okay, let's see here. Your Angels of Atlantis card is Zephiel Ecstasy. Interesting. That woman doesn't look very ecstatic. Do you see her? She doesn't look very ecstatic. She looks like she's gotten a moment of clarity and it's almost like it's overwhelming and like I'm getting that sense of like fainting. And then those angels are catching her. But what's interesting is I'm seeing this sun type of orb here, and then it's really reminding me of this. So it's almost like it's like you're getting this moment of clarity, this lightning moment, it's like she's seeing this. She's seeing the happiness and it's almost like what can produce the true happiness, and it's so overwhelming that she faints. But she knows it can lead to ecstasy. Ecstasy? Am I not saying the right word? Hang on. I want to see what it says here in the book for this card. Zephiel. You know what I'm kind of getting? That this is like, it's almost like that light bulb moment that leads to our dark night of the soul. So you could be relatively new on the on your spiritual path, or you've been on it for a while, but something is maybe triggering you for what it was that sent you down this spiritual path in the first place. Or maybe you've taken a break from your spiritual path and you're getting a reminder of why you were doing that in the first place. Okay, that's what I'm hearing for that. You did get 2 fairies that came out. So we have Fairies of the Future. Okay, because I do feel like this has to do with your future quite heavily. Because like I said, you could be at the very beginning stages, or you could have taken a break and you're being called back to a reminder of where you were once headed, that happiness, right? You've gotten stuck in the monotony of life, and I feel like you're being called back to your future. Oh my gosh, more of that sun energy. You guys. So there's Solace, this Zephiel Ecstasy card with the sun, and then the happiness with the sun. And even lightning is like a fiery energy. Like it creates fires. You could be a fire sign or have a lot of fire in your chart. Lightning to me is more of an air energy just because of the storm energy. But Fairies of the Future, do you see how these 2 fairies, they don't quite fit in with the rest of the background? Like they're very light and ethereal, and the rest of them are very earthy. That's that lightning energy. So I feel like it's almost like your future is beckoning to you to remind you what it is that you were once doing, like why you were going through that dark night of the soul. And because sometimes when we're going through those times, the dark night of the soul, it's not for the weak of heart, right? It can be very, very hard and very exhausting. And we can kind of slip into our old patterns if we don't have proper coping mechanisms for the things that are going to be coming up when we're going through these things. And it can be overwhelming, right? It can be overwhelming, and we can go in back, we can very easily slide back into our shadow attributes of things, right? Of our personality. But this is there's something happening. There's some kind of lightning moment that's going to just remind you. It's getting you back on your path. Okay? Now this is interesting because this is a really masculine energy. I am seeing the solar plexus chakra is being highlighted here. So it's a very masculine energy. And that's interesting. The pile 1 had a masculine energy come up, but it had masculine and feminine. But the beginning was very masculine type of energy. So I don't know why I said that, but it could just, oh, I know I said it. I just feel like maybe that's a theme right now going on. Is like there's a lot of masculine healing going on. I feel like the feminines kind of went through a lot of this stuff already. And I'm not just saying like feminine, not just women. It's like the feminine collective, but then also the feminine collective includes the feminine within each and every single person. Okay, so I feel like a lot of our emotional things have been kind of like trying to heal, and now it's more of our ego. We have to learn how to balance our ego. Okay, so the next we're going to do the Akashic Tarot. We have loving elementals. Okay, that reminds me of the fairies. The elementals are fairies, right? And what's interesting is that it's a baby. So what I'm getting is that you could have been a child that had imaginary friends. You probably sensed a lot of spirits or things like that is what I'm getting, but not in a negative way. Like you always felt very loved and very protected by those energies is what I'm getting. And also what's interesting is I'm seeing like these two are like the red, the fire energy, and then this one is the water energy. And so I'm seeing it's like that balance of the masculine and feminine, but there's too much masculine still. There's 2 to 1. So it needs to be 1-to-1 ratio. You know what I mean? So either another water fairy needs to come or one of the fire fairies needs to go. And I'm not saying like they need to, but this could be also just like your main guides, the ones that have been guiding you through your life. But it could be a very fiery energy that you're ruled by. But you also have a conflicting sense of like this emotional thing. But like I said, it outweighs it. The fire outweighs the water. I'm also getting a really temperance energy with that, because temperance is the balancing of the fire and the water, the masculine and the feminine. Okay, let's see here. 5 of Roses, the garden. And look at this. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is like a natural progression, right? The 3 to the 5. And it's like this child is now this child. It's grown slightly. And it's still looking at all of the creatures of the garden, but the mystical ones are gone. It's almost like, you know how when you're really young, you have that sense of the magical beings around you. You can, and I feel like you are maybe one of those people who were like that. But then as you get older, those go away. The real world draws you in more. But what I'm seeing here is you never lost your curiosity. you were always still looking at the creatures and intrigued by the creatures. And it is almost like I'm sensing too that it is starting to balance more of the masculine and feminine, because roses represents the water, like cups. I'm pretty sure they do. It does. Like the traditional tarot, because the Akashic Tarot is not very traditional in many ways. But there's two of those rose energies. It's almost like an earthy water energy is what I'm getting. Okay. Up in the air. So it's interesting because the coloring is very similar here, but this is like the major arcana. And okay, they're pointing out to me several things, so just let me try to get through this. They're pointing out that 18 breaks down to a 9 because the way that I shuffled was that lightning has 9 letters in it, and so I shuffle each way 9 times, and then I cut the deck and pull if not enough cards came out. Okay. And so I'm getting that 9. So there could be something to do with 9 in your life, but 9s are also about, it's like that reaching the end of cycles. But then they're also pointing out to me that these people still, like you could have met your soulmate. It could be like even just like a brother or a best friend of, I mean, it doesn't have to be opposite sex, but it could be. But you've met them at a very young age, and this is you guys now. But it's almost like you've missed your balloon, for lack of a better word, but it's like your opportunity or whatever. And I'm also seeing this as a sun because it's red and yellow and it's an orb and it's up in the air. So there's 4 suns in your card so far. So it's almost like you were too grounded to get into the balloon and let yourself be carried away. And that was like the Dark Night of the Soul, probably, where you got your clarity about what you were supposed to do, and you might have even begun, but just got really overwhelming, so you missed your boat, you missed your chance, and it went on without you. But it didn't really. There will be another balloon. This balloon will ground. You'll just have to trek to get to it, right? And you'll grow older. It's almost like you're growing older in each card. And it's like at this point, it's almost like you've lost that sense of wonder that you've had in these 2 cards because you didn't get on the balloon. You want to stay grounded. But like I said, it's like these ethereal beings are grounded, right? They're here on Earth. They don't have to be. They have wings, but they're there. But they also are, it's like she's looking directly at him, and she's looking at this like apple type thing. And that almost looks like that sun to me. Like she holds it in her hands and she's looking at it and she knows. Like she knows what she's supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're acting. Like you have the ability to fly, but you're choosing to stay grounded. Yeah, you have the ability to fly that balloon because you are human, right? You have the ability to fly, but you're choosing to stay on the ground. Okay. Let's see here. Next, we're going to use the Fountain Tarot. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. And that's interesting because I don't know, I'm just seeing that water, and I was saying earlier how we need to balance the water and the fire. Because if you think about it, Well, water is a very, actually kind of, it's not grounded energy because it burns everything to the ground, but it has to stay on the ground. It cannot be without earth. But not water. Water can be up in the sky all by itself. And so I'm feeling like that's the missing element, like the actual 100% balance of masculine and feminine energy will be what takes you to the sky. Because if you think about it, fire and water also create steam. Steam is water in the air. And you're being asked to ascend to the sun energy, right? Okay, let's see here. The 10 of coins. Yeah, okay. I am getting that. This is like, because the garden is someone's backyard. This is the home. It's almost like either the garden's on this side or the garden's on that side. I'm getting that the garden's on this side and you need to go through the portal. You need to go through the gate. Okay? But it's also like the home. And I'm getting that sense again of, it's almost like you've met your person, like your ultimate soulmate. It doesn't even have to be romantic. It can be a platonic relationship, but you met this person in your youth, in your childhood home, and maybe they're the trigger to get you to stop wanting to remain so much on the ground. Like, maybe they're not in your life anymore. They could be. Maybe both of you are needing to be triggered because you are together here. But it's almost like because these pentacles are actually, it's so interesting because the 10 of Pentacles typically is about like a fulfilling, complete home life is, I guess, the easiest way to put it. But in this, the portal to the 10 of coins is blocking the portal. So it's almost like you have to figure out how to get to remove these, to collect them. Or maybe there's something about your home, like your childhood home life, that is making you feel super grounded. Because here it's like you're exploring, but you can only explore to the limits of this fence, right? Like you can't go beyond that. And so you remain grounded, but you're intrigued by this butterfly that can fly in the air, but you remain grounded. And here you have things that can fly in the air, but you remain grounded. Here, things that can fly in the air, but you remain grounded. And it's almost like there's something about your home life that makes you feel like you have to stay on the ground, that you can't just go. Because it's blocking. This is like the garden gate. But it's blocked by those 10 pentacles. But you need to collect them, and so you can get a move on with your life. And then the High Priestess up in the air. That's funny. Because the High Priestess is all about, like, she's like the Ascended Master. She knows all. Like, she sits up in the other realms and just knows. And so it's like she's up in the air, right? She sits on a crescent moon. I don't know. And she has a full moon behind her. That's more that water energy, that balance energy. I'm seeing the black and the white, black and white. And like her dress is made of the same curtains that are behind her. Because if it honestly looks like her top is wrapped around her from this background here. And then her bottoms are made out of this. So it's almost like the veils, right? Oh gosh, I wish I knew more about the pagan holidays, because I know like Samhain is when the veil is the thinnest, and I'm getting that energy, that black is because the days are short and the nights are long during Samhain, and then the veil is very thin, and then I feel like it's like something to do with the direct opposite of that. It's like this is the yang and this is the yin. But anyway, I'm getting like the direct opposite of that. Whatever, oh, is it Beltane? Beltane might be it. Where it's the exact opposite of Samhain. I don't know if it's actually like, however many days exact, but I'm getting that yin and yang type of energy here. But yeah, it's almost like she is what's calling you. She's the lightning moment. She is calling you in, and it's less innocent than, your loving elementals from when you were a child. It's like she's almost like, you've had plenty of opportunities. You've been shown so many times how to get yourself up off the ground, and you're not doing it. She's a little annoyed. I'm getting the sense that she's a little bit annoyed with you. To just like get a move on. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the White Sage Tarot. We have the Five of Wands. Death. It's like another portal there, you guys. And then the Knight of Cups. So this is more fire energy, and I'm getting the sense it's like, even though this is the Queen, it's like she's losing the battle, because Five of Wands is a battle. It's resistance and trying to overcome, because the Six of Wands is victory. So it's like she's trying so hard to overcome whatever it is that's keeping this child grounded, but it's more fire energy. It's unbalanced again, but she's trying very hard, but she doesn't know how, because it's just a child. It doesn't know how to embrace that Queen of Cups energy. It doesn't know how to do that. Especially if it's not like naturally predisposed, or if it has a lot of fire. Or maybe you were raised by like, no. But, okay, so there could have, okay, I'm just getting this, and I know the Death card doesn't actually mean this, but I am getting this just as one message. But there could have been a death in your family that led to this kind of like awakening process, Dark Night of the Soul. And I'm only saying that because it's almost like you've broken through that garden wall, and it's like you see the light at the end of the tunnel. So there could have been like the person that was holding you back in your childhood, that made you feel like you couldn't be up in the air, that kept you more grounded. And I'm not saying that's bad. It's a really good thing to be grounded. I'm not saying it's bad at all. But you were supposed to be a more spiritual person than I think that you were raised to be. And it's almost like that you're starting to see the light at that end of the tunnel with that Dark Night of the Soul. Because at the beginning of the tunnel, it's very, very dark. But then by the end of the tunnel, it's almost like this dark and a light. So I feel like maybe you could have had like a Queen of Cups angel around you when you were little. Because now I'm getting the sense that it's almost like the High Priestess is sending that Cups energy back to you. Because she was there, but she couldn't overcome your upbringing here on Earth. But now there's like almost like a break, or you could have, one of your parents, you could have experienced death when you were a child, like towards this parent, but you kind of had to grow up because of that happening, I'm also hearing. But if you didn't lose anyone, it could just be, you finally getting out of this environment. right? Like this part of your life you're putting behind you, and you're breaking through that portal, and you're going through it, and you are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. This doesn't have to be happening right now. This could be in your past, right? But it's almost like your cup guardian is being sent back to you, because like I was saying, that water can live in the air. And so it's coming back to you, but it's no longer a queen, it's a knight, and it's action, right? Knights are all about action, about putting it forth into the world. So I think you're getting a clarity moment, this moment of clarity, this lightning bolt moment, and you're being called to action in a more emotional sense instead of just a fiery, earthy sense. You're being called forward in a very watery sense, and an emotional sense, because the Death card is also, it represents Scorpio, and Scorpio is a water sign. Hearing like you need to either go swimming or take a bath or something of the sort, okay? So Council of Light, I love this because this is like the loving elementals. It's your guides. It's like you're becoming aware of your guides again, because they've always been there, but you're becoming aware of them. You're starting to look more to the sky. You're starting to just really see, listen to your intuition, I'm hearing. And I'm getting that these are like the realms here. You know, there's like the 5th dimension, 6th dimension, blah, 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 you know, and all that stuff. I don't know why I'm getting that message, but I am. And then we have Yamanya, I think. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it says golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Yes, Spirit is opening. They're reopening these doors. They're ready for you to walk through. They're calling and beckoning you to walk through this door, this portal. Okay? So you're being called to walk through. Okay, pile 2, this has been your reading. I hope this was helpful. If you liked it, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, everyone, welcome to the reading for pile number 3. Well is the card that we have for pile number 3, and on it says family wishes come true. That might pertain to the reading, it might not. What I am really getting here is, like, when I think of wells, I think about like a deep emotional dive, and we're talking about what's leading to happiness for you, okay? And so I'm getting that there's going to be, it's a deep emotional dive that is going to bring you happiness, is what you're going to have to do in order to reach that. Because if you look at this card as well, this happiness card, there's the sun on it, so, and the birds, and so it's up in the sky. And with the well, that's like underground, right? So it's like the whole journey from the depths of our emotions until the peak happiness. It's the whole journey. Okay, man, so we're going to be covering a lot today. All right, so the Angel of Atlantis that you got is Grace. Pile 1 had the same one. So I'm seeing moon, that water energy, with the well. I'm seeing that as the moon. And you know what's interesting is, because the family wishes come true, this could just be for a select few of you, but this whole, like, the light and then the stem from the light actually looks like a baby rattle to me. And even with like this, it looks like a bow on it, like how someone would wrap a rattle for a baby shower or something. So with the family wishes come true, like some of you could be having a baby or being blessed with a baby, and that brings you the true happiness. Like that's like your ultimate wish fulfillment right now. is what I'm getting. If this isn't your message, because I feel like this might be coming through as the main message, so if this isn't your message, then I'm sorry, but you know, you can pick a different pile or whatever. But I am feeling this very strongly, especially with this. Like, I don't think this is a stork because of the grace. I feel like it is like that stork energy, though. That's what I'm seeing, especially because I saw it as like the ribbon around this rattle. And I'm getting the name Grace, like maybe you're thinking about naming a baby Grace. Gabriel. I don't know, something that's weird. I'm only seeing one baby here, but maybe, oh, maybe those are like the boy and girl names, like you don't know what the gender is or something, so it's like Grace and Gabriel. That's probably not, but you know, there's that. But then, so Grace, though, with emotions, like if we were to look at this in an emotional way, because going through your emotions is not usually graceful. I'll tell you that. Actually, you know what? Let me look here real quick. Where's Gabriel at? Gabriel. Grace. And this even says heavenly gifts, and I don't know, that makes me think of a baby too. Hang on. Okay, you know what I'm also getting here after I read a little bit of the description? You could be someone who, like, in your younger years, you decided that you did not want children. And there's nothing wrong with not wanting children at all. There's nothing wrong with wanting children. But you had just decided that it wasn't for you. And then I feel like if, as you get older, you are feeling more like called to reconsider that. Not saying that you need to have children, but you might be, if you're feeling called to reconsider a stance that you had on that previously, 444 on the timer here, then, you know, by all means reconsider. Like, talk to yourself, talk to your guides, whatever it is that you believe in, you know, consult that and really, you know, just reassess the situation. It doesn't have to have a different outcome. Just, you're being called to reassess or look at something that made you choose that option. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's see here. The fairies. You got two fairies. Epona's wild daughters. Oh my gosh. Sorry. It's just because we're talking about children and having a daughter, like, or like, you know, the grace. And then we have Epona's wild daughters. Okay. And the guardian of the gate. Okay. Since this is coming through as like someone becoming a parent reading, what this is telling me, without like looking at what these cards mean in the book or anything like that, it's telling me that you could, if you were to become a parent, the child or children that you're birthing into the world they're angels. Like, literally. Because we have the guardian of the gate, and to me that's like the gate to heaven. And then Epona's wild daughters, like, you could be having, it's just one. I keep saying daughters, but it's just, there's no S. So that's interesting, because I was seeing one or two, you know what I mean? But, so you could be having a girl, a child, that is an angel that needs to come to earth. No pressure. And I'm sorry that this is like such a specific reading, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Okay, all right. I feel like this is blurry. I don't know. The next we're going to pull Akashic. You had 4 come out. Okay, so we have the bird's nest. Oh my gosh. If that's not, like a home and children energy, like a mama bird feeding her baby birds. Building a nest, like that's what I feel like that's what you've been doing your whole life. Like if you were deciding to have children later in life, it's like you've been building this necessary nest that you didn't know why you were building it, right? Like you were just working and becoming abundant and just getting all your ducks in a row. Like you were probably always very motivated, determined, and you were just building, and you didn't really understand what you were doing or why you were doing it, but you were transforming something, because I keep seeing this butterfly up here. So it's like you were just like, you were transforming things without your knowledge, because that bird, she can't see that butterfly, it's up there, but she was building it for these babies, for her eggs, because it's an instinctual thing for birds. There's a lot of birds here. There's birds in this card, there's a bird there, 5 birds here, or 4 birds. 4 birds here. She has wings. Hilarion. If I'm not mistaken, that's like, what is it, past on loved ones? Hang on, let me just double check real quick. Okay, so the Hilarion is actually the person in this card, like the one that's not transparent. This guy right here. And these other figures are kind of like the Akashic records. And I'm seeing these 2 children. There's 2 children in this card. But anyway, it's like Akashic. If you don't know what the Akashic records are, it's like this guy has access to all that is, all that will be, and all that ever was. Like he just has the ability to know all. And it was pointing out it's like a very academic thing. So I feel like it is that Akashic, because it's like the guardian of the gate to the Akashic records, right? And so that could be the child that you're bringing, is like has those abilities, right? So you need to really nurture their spiritual side. And because sometimes with kids, when they have, because everybody, in my opinion, everyone has these abilities, right? The seeing spirits or hearing spirits or sensing spirits, all that stuff. Everyone has the ability. Some are naturally, or they're more naturally predisposed to have them. They don't have to work as hard to acquire them, just like any other thing in life. Some people are really, really good at baseball. Some people, but really, really terrible at like doing their taxes, stuff like that. We are all good at things and we are all bad at things. This child has that gift and it needs to be nurtured, is what I'm hearing. So this could be a reading for your future child or a current child, even like you could have already had this child. But this is like the ultimate, like the way to reach ultimate happiness, not just for yourself, but for this child as well. Or children. Okay. Let's see. Diversity. Like I was saying, it takes all kinds of people. We all know all different things. Oh, and what else I was getting, because this person's holding a book and this person's holding a book, they were pointing out in the book for the Akashic Tarot that this person is an academic, and I'm getting that again. So this could also be you building, like what you were doing before you were building your nest, and what you're going to continue doing after you built your nest. It's not like you have to stop what you're doing in order to become a parent. You can still continue what you were doing, especially since you were building such a strong foundation beforehand. It's easier for you to continue on your path. And that's what I'm seeing here. It might be more homebound because these 2 people are indoors. Well, she's kind of outdoors, but you might be more homebound, but you're still able. And I'm getting that sense with the, I hate to bring this up, but it's like that coronavirus thing where we're all inside. So it's like you were still able to continue building your nest, but maybe that is what triggered you into thinking, like, maybe I should become a parent. Like you wanted, like, it was almost like, gosh, you wanted something more fulfilling to do while you were stuck at home, and you kind of like, I don't know, maybe wished that you had a kid or something. That's so strange of a message. That's the message. So that's what, and it's almost like someone to teach, because you have a really earthly grasp on this stuff, like learning, and it will translate into a child that is more divine, that you'll still be able to teach it things. It's almost like it'll have the best of both worlds. And that's why it's coming to Earth, to learn more. They don't need to learn more about the astral life, like the heavens, because they're already aware. They already know. They're coming here to learn earthly things. So teach them earthly things. This could be you as well. This could be you. I am getting strongly that it's you having a child, but it could be you. That's this person that came to Earth to learn. Paths unknown. Paths unknown. There's more scrolls here. See the scrolls? You know, oh, this is so sweet. This is so sweet. This is, oh, you guys. Okay, this is like the progression of this child's life. They're the baby. The mama feeds it. The mama does what all it needs to do to prepare it to fly out of the nest, right? Teaches it. The mama teaches the baby everything, or dada. Sorry, mama or dada. Because there's a man and a woman here, both with books, and this one's reading it. It's almost like they're reading it to these people, these whatnot, the spirits. And then this one is presenting it and showing it and teaching it. So it's like by word of mouth and by sight. Those are the two learning methods there that they're employing. But anyway, so it's like two people teaching children, or a child or children, things. And then that's where they head out on their own paths. Because there's 3 paths in this card. And this person is quite young, if you look at it. It's like, but you've prepared them. You've prepared them enough to know where they're supposed to go when they're presented with options. Because there's a fox, a squirrel, and a raccoon. So I'm being called to kind of think about what these animals mean to me spiritually, because I don't necessarily know 100% what they all mean, like by the textbook definition. But a fox, we know is sly. They are opportunity takers. They look for opportunity and they seize opportunity. Like when, the chickens are away, steal the eggs or whatever. And then we have a squirrel, which to me is all about kind of like bunkering down and hoarding a little bit, because they like gather and gather and gather and gather, and then they hibernate. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. And then with the raccoon, it's a little bit more like of a destructive energy, but in a really playful, like fun way. I don't think this person will ever be bad, because first off, they're an angel, like an earth angel, but also because they've had such supportive upbringing. Like, I'm seeing 5-5 there. Anyway, there's 5-5. I was just told to point that out. Maybe you're 55 and thinking about having a child. I don't know. That's just one. I don't know. But anyway, because all these animals, I think, can be skewed as a more negative energy, but there's always a reverse side. There's always good side to every energy on earth or in the heavens or whatever. But they're assessing which path is best for them, and they will choose confidently. They know where they want to go because they've been taught well. Okay? Now, we're going to use the Fountain Tarot. Page of Cups. Okay, that's more young person energy. I feel like it's this person. It could be a water sign, because I was getting the water because of the well and the moon, and now with this Page of Cups, the water signs are Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And this is almost like them in the classroom, like their teacher, you, is up front teaching them and they're doing. That's what I'm getting there, because it's also like touching the nest and the Hilarion. So it's just being taught in the home. You might homeschool. Oh, there's another 5. 5, 5, 5. But it's the 5 of coins. So the feeling left out in the cold is the typical meaning. And I'm not really understanding this because, you know, there is a child and a parent in this card, but they're outside in the cold. But I feel like you have done everything you could up until this point to build this nest. And I feel, okay. I feel like something either happened recently or it's a fear of yours of why you can't have children, that whatever it is that you've built for yourself will be taken from you. There's a fear that you won't be able to provide for a child. And I don't know why there's that fear, because you definitely can. And here's the thing, you guys, financial abundance is not the only thing that it takes to be a good parent. It takes emotional stability, or not even emotional stability, it takes emotional capacity to be able to be there emotionally for that child. Having nice earthly things is not a huge factor of being a good parent, okay? So I am seeing that 5, because there's the 5s, right? And the 5s represent change. And I really feel like that's a fear for you. You're really fearing that you're not going to be able to teach this child everything they know or need to know, because you do know that they're an angel. I do feel like you have a fear of not being able to teach them everything they need to know. Don't have that fear. They will know how to choose the right path. You will teach them the right way. And I'm getting strongly that it's a fear because of how you were raised. You weren't taught everything that you needed to know. You're starting to learn things later in life. And so you're scared that you'll do the same thing to your child. Maybe you felt always in lack or out in the cold when you were a child. So it's like a natural fear. And the 2 of Swords, you know, it's so beautiful, because the 2 of Swords is about choice. And here we have the 8 of Scrolls, and she's like literally choosing a path. And to me, you know, because sometimes the 2 of Swords can be interpreted as lack of making a choice, like being unable to. But to me, the way that she, you know, she's blindfolded and she's looking up to the heavens, and it's almost like there's a light above her. It's like a dark day, but there's a light above her, and it's almost like this light from the heavens. Look, and it's here too. They are guided by the heavens, this child, and all they have to do is look up and know. And that's why it's important for you to nourish it, and you know that it's important, and you're going to do it. But I am getting the sense that it's like this could have been your life, but it didn't happen, so you always feared having children, and now you're deciding to have a child, and you worry. You worry that you won't do it. But this child, even if you were not the worst parent in the world, because, don't do that, but even if you didn't live up to every single expectation that you have for yourself, you will be enough for this child because they also are being guided by the heavens, okay? They have natural guides with them. They're coming here to learn things, okay? Let them learn things. Teach them things. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. Nice, because I feel like this is like kind of a continuation for the page. Like that child growing older. The Hermit, which, I did get that sense with this Paths Unknown that it was a little bit of a hermity energy, but that's not a bad thing. They could just be a little bit more reserved. They could be an only child. I am getting that sense that if you're going to have a child, it's only going to be one child. And so they could just have a little bit more of a natural predisposition of being a little bit more reserved. It doesn't mean... Oh, you know what else they're showing me? They're showing me, because this is a sloth. And it's so funny because they have like a little sweatshirt on. I don't know, this kid could like hoodies. I don't know why they were telling me to say that. But, oh, you know what else they're showing me? That this does represent the child, because the Hermit's a 9 and this Epona's wild daughter is 9. And, it's like, even though they're reserved, they still have that wild heart. Like, they just are comfortable pursuing that wild heart on their own. You know what I mean? Like, they're not dependent on people. Even if you guys have a very, very close bond, they're not dependent on you. They're not dependent on other people. Not saying that they shut people out, but that because they are Cups energy, they have a very strong sense of emotional capability, especially with the well here. But they're very comfortable being independent, okay? And the Page of Pentacles. Oh, guys, this is all so sweet. 10 of Swords. Okay, hang on. Let me look at these. Oh. Okay. So I'm getting a couple of things. They could maybe struggle a little bit with the Pentacle energy, with building wealth, creating like an earthly type of environment, because they are so drawn to the astral, to the other realms, that they could struggle a little bit to ground that. So that is something that you possibly could be needing to teach them, is how to ground their abilities, their this energy, the Guardian of the Gate, down into the ground. And I'm getting that also because the 10 of Swords, to me, for this particular reading, is like, this is why they have to come to Earth. There's something that they need to learn. They need an earthly lesson that they couldn't get up in the heavens. And they had to come to Earth, that they need to learn something here on Earth. And it is this like Pentacle thing. Earthly matters. And it's very slow going, because that Hermit energy, like, they're very slow to pick up on. It could be about how to amass things that you need in order to live here on Earth. Like, they never understood why people couldn't, like, okay, if they were, because they're a Guardian of the Gate, that maybe they never understood why humans couldn't follow their dreams and their intuition as easily as they understood it to be. Because here on Earth, we don't have the freedom to just pursue like emotional well-being. We have to work. We have to make money in order to survive here on Earth. And I feel like maybe that's something that they never quite understood about humans, And so they have to actually become a human in order to learn it. And like I said, this could also be you. It doesn't just have to be a child that you're bringing into the world. It could be you. Maybe you feel like that. Maybe you really struggle. Like you're really good with the emotional stuff, right? But you're not so good at the earthly stuff, because the page is like the very beginning of a pentacle energy, like pentacle journey. And with that 10 of Swords right after it, that's what I'm getting. Like, you have to learn this, or not you, but you or this child has to learn that lesson. If this is you, I'm also getting that this could have been like your youth, and you saw 3 paths laid out in front of you, and you chose one, but you maybe felt like it was not quite, I don't know, the path you were supposed to take. But I feel like you were supposed to take all 3 paths. I don't know if this is you. Okay, so Work Your Light Oracle, Pillar of Light. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's like this card. They are a pillar of light. They are tapped into the heavens. They have that. Their problem is grounding it. I feel like they need to learn how to ground that energy. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So I'm just getting that pillar of light energy. And you know what? Look at this. Okay, so there's a person here. But this also, to me, with this circle or moon or whatever this is, and then these 2 things here, they look like, it looks like an angel. So it's like an angel, and then they're descending down to earth. And instead of like ascending up, they're descending down onto earth, because they need to learn whatever is down here. They need to learn it. And look, they're landing right in the water. And I feel like they're strongly a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I am getting that. They're landing in the water. I love that. Fertility. So, Ostara, fertility. Like I said, you could definitely be having a child, or that you're pregnant now, or recently had a child, or this is just a child that you've had, but you're realizing, like, maybe you're realizing that this isn't how you need to parent or something. You know what I mean? It's never too late. But also fertility. It's the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. And you know what? That actually tells me that this actually does not have to be a child. I am getting strongly that it is a child, because there's a lot of youth energy here. But also, if you're not planning on having children, it could be that it's something that you are, it's like some project or something that you are birthing down from the heavens. Like you're bringing it down from the heavens and trying to bring it down onto earth. And it's like your calling. It's your calling. And that's why it's like the Page of Pentacles. Oh. If this is you, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't see this before. There's something that happened. There was a huge change that happened with this 555 here, and this out in the cold 5 of coins, where you were abundant, you were well off, and then all of a sudden, like, you just changed. It totally changed. You made a decision. You made a decision to change it. And you felt like you were losing all of your earthly abundance. Because this is like a project that you're birthing down into the earth, but it's slow going, and it's taking you a while to get it up off the ground. But there's a major lesson in it. Like, you've learned that you can never go back to what you were doing before. If this is like a project, right? If this is something that it's like you're calling, you feel called to do it. You have to learn that this isn't where comfort is. Like, the abundance isn't where the comfort is. It's in the emotional well-being It's in the, because we were saying that earlier, like it's not necessarily just about the earth energy, it's about the emotional well-being. That's what it takes to be a good parent, but it's true for yourself as well. Like parenting yourself, because there is so much youth energy, this could be an inner child thing. There's something that maybe you did when you were a child, I'm also getting, that you're deciding to bring back down to earth. Like you're deciding to actually pursue it now. It's almost like you took one path with this Two of Swords touching this path unknown. You took one path that was maybe taught to you that you needed to take. Sorry, I'm getting a totally different message now. But we're going with it. You were maybe taught by a parent that you needed to take this type of path. And maybe you took it and it didn't really ever feel natural. And now you're making a decision to go back and like start a whole new path. And it's your path. It's your truth. But it is making you feel scared and like you're going to lose everything. But you're not. You're just, it's a slow process. But we have fertility and Pillar of Light. You're bringing it down into earth and it's going to be fertile. Just give it time because things take time to grow. Okay, pile 3. This has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you liked or resonated with this, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to the pile 4 reading, the Archway. You actually had 3 cards that came out. I don't know how much these are gonna pertain to the reading because they were on the floor, but I was told to kind of keep them with this. So the Archway. New opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Yeah, so to me it's like a portal. You're needing to transition something. Okay? The Wall, misunderstanding. Okay, what I'm seeing here is like there was a wall in front of your transition. There was something blocking you. But you know what they're pointing out to me? It's like on this side, it's almost like a reddish, greenish, orangish color, like almost like grass, like burnt grass. You know, when grass gets really dry, that color of it, that's what I'm seeing there. It's almost like it's too much, it faces the sun too much, that it burns up the grass. And then on this side, it looks a lot chillier and colder. So it's almost like the sun beats down too much on one side. It's too much fire, like too much, yeah, it's almost like a too much masculine energy and then the feminine energy on this side. But it's also too much, like there's too much of it on this side as well. It's too cold on this side and too hot on this side. Maybe you fluctuate from hot and cold, or somebody around you fluctuates from hot and cold because of this misunderstanding energy here too. Like someone can misunderstand the things that you do or say, or vice versa, and it becomes a block. And remember, this is a happiness reading, so we're like, it's almost like the door to happiness. And this is the door to happiness, but there's something blocking. And then the flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. Yeah, it's like that hot and cold misunderstanding. It's like maybe you're always feeling disappointed in love or in friendships or even family relationships, I'm hearing, because I'm not even really noticing the flute that much, but I'm noticing these wilted flowers. Like, okay, so these are wilted flowers, and these are blooming flowers. Like, this has the right amount of hot and cold. This has the right amount, like, through this doorway, through this happiness doorway. Leads like the fertility and the abundance, and right now it's just a wilted flowers. Where flute energy, you know, flutes make such a beautiful melodic sound, and but it's not getting utilized. It's not being used in the right way. It has a flower vase sitting on top of it, which is no place for a flower vase. It's just going to fall off because the flute is round and they roll. It's almost like I'm hearing that fit a square peg in a round hole. That's what it feels like. There's something, it's like you're trying to force it, or someone else is trying to force it, and it's just creating a block. It's creating misunderstandings left and right. But this is a possibility. There's something. What's interesting is I'm called to put them like this. And the rest of the readings I've been putting them next to the happiness card because there's only one. But here, there's three, so I'm being called to put them vertical. And if you look at it, it's like this is the starting point, then this is the wall, the path, that it's just constant misunderstanding, and it's really, really long path. Like you've been on it for a very long time, this path of misunderstanding, this path of disappointment, of wilted, like feeling wilted. What's that saying, like, about a woman, like, she just needs water to grow? I don't know, something like that. But you're feeling really wilted and just disappointed in things. Okay. Let's see what our Angel of Atlantis is. Hanael. Integrity. That's the balance. I'm seeing the balance there. Integrity. You know what I'm hearing? Like, I'm getting strongly that this is a marriage or a long-term relationship. It doesn't have to be a marriage, because friends can also be married in a sense, right? Like, in a sense, not innocence, which is odd that came out that way to me. I heard innocence. And that tells me, like, maybe it's someone that you've known since childhood. Okay? And you feel like, I feel like you think, or you feel that things have been out of balance. That you guys maybe have been, like, bickering a lot, fighting a lot, and just not really seeing eye to eye on a lot of things. And you want the scales to be back in balance, but it doesn't seem very possible right now. It seems like this relationship is probably going to be coming to an end or transforming in some way through this archway. It just depends. Like, I feel like you're walking this path and you're choosing to go through the archway no matter what. If this person wants to come with you, they can. If not, that's fine too. You're still gonna go. That's what I'm getting. Like, you're choosing integrity for yourself. Like, you're choosing you in the truest sense, and it's not selfish to do that. It's your right. You have every right to be happy. And if certain relationships or certain things in your life are not making you happy, you have every right to balance the scales and make it, like, pursue that. That is your right. Lothus the Wild. Hang on a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's so interesting because, like, the fairies have very specific, like, meanings in the book and whatnot, but also they strongly encourage you to go with your own meaning with the cards. And what I'm seeing here is that, well, first off, this is interesting because it breaks down to a 3. 57 breaks down to 3, it breaks down to 12, and 12 breaks down to 3. And you got the 3 cards, the 3 tea leaf cards. And so it could be like a group of 3 that you're feeling is not in balance. But if not, I mean, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be however many number. But I am getting that number for some of you. But anyway, this is what I'm getting with this card, is there's this person, this energy that is holding you down, that is just keeping you wilted, right? Because this is you down here. They're keeping you wilted, and I feel like you were not really awake to it for a long time. This could be someone that you've known for a very long time. Or it feels like you've known them for a long time. But I am getting that old energy again because their wings are tattered. The Luathus, his wings are tattered. But anyway, so they're holding you down and you're just feeling so like, yeah, wilted. This person is flat. Wilted is like a droopy, flat energy. And you're flat. And you're wanting to bring justice to yourself. You're wanting to choose integrity for yourself, to tell this person they can't do this to you anymore, and then you're going to pop right up. You're going to pop right up after they let go. Like they're the ones holding you down like that. And I'm not saying we can put blame on other people for our own problems, but sometimes there are people in our lives that we allow to hold us back, to hold us down. We allow them to do it. It doesn't mean it's their fault. It's just who they are as a person, and they have conflicting energy to us. And sometimes it's like friendships of circumstance, you know, it's like someone you've known since your childhood that has been your friend forever. And so you feel a sense of obligation to them. And it's just saying like you have to choose yourself sometimes and let the people go that need to be let go. Okay, so we have the King of Keys. I feel like this is you choosing integrity, moving forward. What are we moving towards? You're making an active choice because I'm seeing the red here and the red here. It's like you're choosing integrity for yourself and you're moving it forward. Where are you moving it to? Reflection, okay. Now, to me, I am seeing it as like you are reflecting and you're really wanting to choose yourself, like you really, really want to. But I do feel like you kind of are having a hard time choosing yourself. But you're reflecting on it a lot and you really, really want to choose yourself, but it's just, you're struggling a little bit. But this does break down to a 1. So that's really good because a 10 and a 10 is 1, but 10s are also cycles. So you're looking at these cycles and you're wanting to break them and you're choosing that. The Divine Physician, interesting. You know what I noticed about this? Is that he's like directing his light straight at her like heart and throat. So to me, it's like that reflection to figure out your heart, right? So you know what's in your heart, and it's almost like learning to heal your throat to speak up for yourself. And look, I'm seeing the 3 friends again. And this person's separate from these 2. You could be leaving 2 people behind because you're healing yourself. Or you're being healed. The universe might not be giving you an option. This door back here is also really speaking out to me. That's kind of like that reflection. Like you went into this dark place. Like, look, this is you carrying this red energy through, right? And you went into a dark place knowingly, willingly, because you knew what was best for you. And it's like this room right here. Like that's where you did that at. And so it's almost like these people are still around and they're witnessing your healing, but they don't understand. They're kind of like looking at it like, what's happening here? Like these people could be like, what is happening? Why are you acting weird? You know what I mean? Because you're choosing to stand up for yourself. Maybe that's something you've never done before. And you're like, no, we're not doing this anymore. And the Architect, 1 of Keys. I love this because it's the King of Keys here. So that is you. This is you. You're doing this. You are going in this direction, and this is the beginning. You're healing it because you have to go through the healing before you can start building. So you're going through the healing, and then you're building. You're the architect. You're building your own life, your own legacy. I love this so much. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the Fountain Tarot. 9 of Cups. Yes. Because this is you. You're the king, and you're carrying this energy. 9 of Cups is like, excuse me. They say wish fulfillment. Look how wish fulfillment. That came out weird. But look how happy this guy is. He is so happy. He has all that he could want and more. And it's almost like you've gotten such emotional clarity that this, oh my gosh, you guys, hang on. This archway, that's the archway. Look at that. It's an archway. Right there. There's the archway that you're going through. Okay? There was something blocking it. These people were blocking it, but that's the archway. You're going through it. You're and doing that healing. And on the other side is the abundance. Is your building. And right now, it's almost like you might not have it all yet in an earthly sense, but emotionally, you have it all. The Wheel of Fortune. That's the change, you know, the 10. Wheel of Fortune is 10. And I said this breaks down to a 10, and I did have it under here. So I wasn't sure how many cards were left, but there are 2 more cards. But it's like the 10-10. And it's almost like it feels a little in this reflection and looking at yourself and what you need to let go of. It feels a little like chaotic because this person has 3 rings spinning around them, right? And they're just in the middle, kind of like trying not to get cut. Trying not to, get too much damage done while they're in this. This is almost like a dark night of the soul type of thing, where you have to go in and look at your deepest, darkest energies within yourself, and you have to actually learn to embrace them. You can't heal them until you embrace them, to be honest. Because if you think about it, say, okay, let's see, if you're like one of your major flaws is that you spend a lot of money. Let's say that is what you consider to be a lot of or a huge flaw of yours, okay? You have to go in and you have to look at the aspects of yourself that make you feel like you need to spend a lot of money. Like maybe you spend a lot of money because you didn't have a lot of stuff growing up. You didn't have a lot of physical items in your life growing up due to whatever reason. You know, you could have been poor. You could have had parents that didn't allow you to have a lot of things out of like, you know, clutter. They didn't like clutter, stuff like that. And so now that you have control over it, you like kind of go to the exact opposite. So you have to look at the wounding behind the flawed action, okay? And you have to go in there and you have to embrace that child that wasn't allowed to have things. You have to say, I understand you. I completely understand you. And I know where you're coming from. And in turn, by doing that, you heal it. Okay? I don't know why I went into that huge tangent there. Maybe somebody needed to hear it. But, okay. The Divine Physician, the 4 of Swords, that's healing. That card literally means healing. You're going in, and it's the swords energy, like you were scared of getting cut and not too much damage, right? And now you're embracing that sword energy, that fear of getting cut. You're embracing it, and you're saying, okay, it's for my greater good. And you're allowing the wounds that the swords can create to be healed. The swords, like, the wounding from our childhood or whatever. I am getting like maybe this might be a sense of like childhood wounding, because I was hearing the like the childhood friendships, the youth, the innocence word that actually accidentally came out earlier. Okay. And then the Hanged Man. Oh, look at this, you guys. I'm sorry. It's like this sun is setting or rising right at his crown chakra. And it wouldn't be that way if he were the other way around. I mean, you know, if I flip the card, it's still there. But you know what I mean? Like if he was standing upright, the sun would be at his feet and not at his crown. And so it's almost like, to me, because this is the very beginning stages, right? This is the very, very beginning. It's almost like the sun is rising. And it's the, what am I trying to say here? You're seeing it. You know, you're seeing your beginning. You're seeing it's almost like you're seeing the whole picture, because this is the architect. He has the plans laid out and they're just beginning to build, right? He's still in charge. The architect is still in charge because he knows the plans and he's directing everyone to where they need to go. Okay, and that's kind of what's happening here, is you're getting your message, you're getting your clarity, whatever it is that's on the other side of here. That's what you're getting, and you're beginning the structure, the building of it. But it is almost like you don't necessarily need to do a lot of the physical labor. You just need to direct, because you are hung up, and the Hanged Man, the reason he's hung up is he needs to see clearly. And so now you are starting to see clearly with that rising sun. The House of the Rising Sun. I don't know. They told me to say that song. Led Zeppelin. But, and it's going to just like illuminate his whole body, right? It's going to become his truth. That's what I'm seeing there with that. I know that's not the traditional way that people see hanged men, but whatever. Two of Pentacles. Okay. Death. Yes, that is, oh my gosh. That is like such death energy here, this reflection, that, and going into the archway, the healing, right? Like and there's another archway. It's like you've been in the dark, and that's like the other side. You've gone into the dark room, and that's on the other side. And it's this. Two of Wands. So we have 2, 13, 2. 2 of Cups, 2 of Wands. This is weird. Because they're kind of giving me like numbers here. They're showing me, even though this is the 2 of Pentacles, they're showing me the 8. Okay. Here I'm seeing like that golden ratio, or the spiral. I'm seeing a spiral there. But then here I'm seeing this as an X. So I don't know if the letter X means something to you, but I'm also seeing it as that 10, the Wheel of Fortune, right? Because 2 of Wands is about manifestation, and the 2 of Pentacles is about balance. But I'm seeing the 8 strongly here and the X strongly here, and it's like that Wheel of Fortune, and manifesting change. You're manifesting it. That's what you're healing, like being scared of the change, being scared of the judgment of these people in your life, that if you change, they're going to judge you harshly, right? But you say, I can't, I have to do it anyway, and you're manifesting that change. Like, and before, with this balance, I'm getting these where things were just starting to feel out of balance. And I am seeing the green here tied to this. But the 5 of Pentacles is usually about it's about feeling left out in the cold. Let's see, what is it saying to me? Oh, because that sand dollar is broken. know. Hang on. Because, okay, you guys, what I'm seeing here are these like stars down here, and then this star is broken, okay? And I think you're trying to carry on, but you still feel like you weren't acting with integrity or something, like you feel like you let these people down. Like you've shattered their lives. And I think it is hanging you up a little bit. Like it's making you like, did I do the right thing? Did I leave the right things in the past and carrying the right things forward with me? You're starting to doubt yourself, but you don't need to, because you're building your own independent life, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. You're already doing it. I feel like this is why this Five of Pentacles is coming out, and even the Hanged Man, because it's like you see the truth, you know the truth, but you're doubting yourself. You've hung yourself up because you feel like you didn't do the right thing. That's what I'm getting here. It's almost like you can't continue construction if you feel like you didn't do it the right way. Like, do I need to go back and start over? You don't, because you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Stop doubting yourself. You're going where you need to go. It's almost like this person is going this way, but here, this is like a planned, structured path for them, like this wall. It's like that's what was planned for you. That's that circumstantial friends, you know, where it's like people we've known since our childhood. They're your friends by circumstance. It's what was built for you. And now you're turning a corner and going and building your own pathway, following your own pathway. And they really, really want you to keep going. Please keep going. Easy does it. Una. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Yeah, that's it. Stop doubting yourself too. Just keep going. Don't doubt yourself, please, as much as possible. You're doing the right thing, okay? Think about this Nine of Cups, and it's almost like you feel like you have to balance like your happiness with other things. With like the sadness of the world, I'm hearing. But you don't. You need to keep doing what you're doing, is what they're saying. Whatever that is that's making you feel fulfilled, but also a little guilty. Know that you don't need to feel guilt, that you're doing it with integrity for you, okay? All right, pile 4, this has been your reading. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.